Hello, everyone. Good evening. Please let us know where you're joining from in the chat. I want to see what cities everyone is from. Let's see. Welcome to part 2 of the Genius series. My name is Gian, aka Gigi, and I'm your moderator again for tonight's conversation. Surprise for anyone who's back from last week. We are very excited to get this party started again. On behalf of Asia, I'm pretty sure she's very happy to have you all join. I know hearing firsthand why she created this platform. She's really passionate about independent artists and making sure artists are resourced, they're valued, they have access, they have the visibility, and they just have the tools. You guys have the tools to be successful. So she put together this series to make sure that you are in the comfortability of your home. You don't have to think about traveling anywhere. And we're bringing the experts to you. So thank you all for joining and being here with us. So by the end of this conversation, my hope is you all walk away with three things: clarity, so a better understanding of what it is you actually take from these opportunities so you're ready for them; strategy, just tangible next steps and how you can apply it to your own career and how you're going to show up and scale; and then community, new people to follow, new people to learn from, and just a possible collaboration beyond just tonight. So clarity, strategy, and community. This is not a lecture. This is a conversation. So feel free. Please take notes. Please drop questions in the chat. Please bug us with anything. The beauty of doing these panels virtually is you have access to the people who are the experts. So be as specific as possible to the questions. I think sometimes when we think of Q&A, we try to frame it for everyone. No, this is your career. Ask the questions that benefits you. And then we're just gonna move on now to our amazing panelists, who I would love to thank for just spending your time with us today. So tonight's conversation is about more than music. It's about building a career that is financially sound, strategically positioned, and just personally sustainable. So we have another group of amazing panelists joining us. So first we have Jazz Jackson, who is the founder of Unearthly Studios. She's a digital marketer, artist manager, and A&R executive who specializes in turning creative vision into strategy, helping artists like you and brands grow real audiences and transform listeners into superfans. Yay! Welcome, Jazz. I wish we had sound effects. Next, we have Tonya Nelson-Fisher. She is a music and media executive and founder of Streaming Strategy Intensive. Oh, there we go. She focuses on editorial strategy, artist development, and streaming growth, using data and culture to help artists show up the right way on platforms like Tidal and SiriusXM. Give it up for Tonya. Next, we have Miesha Rice, who is a licensed clinical social worker, psychotherapist, and founder of Whole Family Healing Group. Miesha provides mental health support and wellness consulting for artists and entertainment teams, centering trauma-informed care, boundaries, and sustainable well-being in the industry. Very much needed. Thank you so much, Miesha. And lastly, we have Yoko. Did I say that right? Just want to make sure. I ate that up. Thank you. We have Yoko, who is the founder of Yoko Entertainment. She helps independent artists and music teams understand how their money actually moves, publishing, credits, splits, and royalties, so they can protect their work and build sustainable income without burning out. Woo! Now that I read the bios, I want to give a chance for our audience to hear from you all. So under 90 seconds, if you each can, one, share the land you occupy within today's music ecosystem in your own words, and then two, what do artists come to you most often for support with? And I can start with you, Miesha, because you're just the first one on my screen.
That's fine. Thank you all so much for having me, and thank you for that wonderful introduction. So, I provide mental wellness and just support for mental health for those who are in the entertainment industry. So many things have changed. There's digital media, there is social media, and things are not the same as they were before. And my time of working in the entertainment industry, there was not a lot of social media. So there was more cohesiveness, there was more touch, there was more interaction. Socially, we spent more time together, and so now that was already stressful. So now you have the stress of social media and the followers and being liked online and how many likes and all those different things. And I don't know if the world really understands how much additional pressure that places on our creative community. I mean, it's even hard for me. But so I provide support in just allowing them to breathe and let them know that you don't have to be everything all the time and be all things to all people. You are afforded time to just be and just think and create and step away from just everything, just to get your mind right, because you have so much pressure, not just from entertainment, but you still have your family stuff and your stuff that you came with from childhood. You're still dealing with all of those things. So I am the person who provides a platform and a safe space for creatives to process all of that and heal from it.
Thank you. Next, Jazz. First on my screen.
Yes, thank you once again for having me. So excited to be here, share some knowledge and some gems. So, yeah, the lane I currently occupy within music, arts, and entertainment. First things first, all things social strategy, creative marketing. So, yeah, I've done over a decade working from everything from in-house social, freelancing, on the agency side, working with some of the biggest brands in the world. Now I am running the ship over at Unearthly. And yeah, I also am an artist manager, A&R. So I also do work with a handful of artists more day to day. I say in the trenches. If you know, you know. And it's a great time, but I love it. I love it, and it's given me so much, just like firsthand experience into the whole music business. So I think what artists come to me obviously most for support is, like Miesha was mentioning, all things social media marketing. As a strategist, I say if you're not doing social full time, there's just no way you can keep up with just how rapidly these platforms and tools are changing. What's being released, what's coming out. So I'm the girly who has a pulse, seeing what's coming, what's going to be next, and also where marketing, the attention economy is shifting as we're building today in 2026. So yeah, helping artists bring music release campaigns to life. So if you're releasing a single, album, we do all of that on the agency side, but also just brand and creative strategy in general. So thinking about how you bridge the gap from digital to IRL, experiential events, and more. So yeah, I love social, all things social. So yeah, excited to get into it today.
Tanya, you can go next. I'm just looking at how my screen is.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to be here today. My name is Tanya, and throughout my career, I've sat at the intersection of music programming, editorial, cultural awareness and relevance, and platform storytelling. So I worked at SiriusXM for about 7 years, and then afterward, I went to streaming at Title. So I know kind of the best of both worlds when it comes to radio and streaming. And most recently, I've branched out to create the Streaming Strategy Intensive, which is my own company, where I kind of let independent artists know what curators are looking for from the inside. So I know sometimes it's hard to kind of break through the noise. At Title, we're receiving 100,000 songs and coming into the app per day, right? So as an independent artist, sometimes it's hard to break through, and I just wanted to figure out a way to kind of connect with people one on one, dive into their data, dive into their releases, and then figure out how I can help independent artists with the Streaming Strategy Intensive. So I'm really excited to share some of the information tonight and to connect with amazing people like everyone here on this call.
And last but not least,
Oh man, what lane do I have? I drive a lot. I'm in a couple different lanes right now, right? So I'm in the middle of a couple intersectionalities. I think right now I'm in project management and release coordination. So think about the person who is helping to figure out your blueprint and your timeline of how to properly release a project and roll a project out. And I use the word properly for a reason, right? There are certain rules and deadlines that a lot of people don't know about. This is my job, is to come in and kind of run the play with that. I would say the second lane that I absolutely love being in is the education lane, right? So I have a privilege of not only knowing a ton of knowledge of the music industry, but I'm also becoming a translator, if you would. So a person who knows all the jargon and all, the industry access, and now I'm able to translate it into the language of our community. So I literally have sat down and said, you want me to put it in basketball terms? I have explained a split sheet as a wig last week, and I'm very proud that I was able to make that happen. You feel me? So I come forward and I meet people where they're at so they can understand this industry. This music industry is $1 billion industry. It's always money's in it, but you have to understand the rules and how the game flows. And the last thing I think I do that kind of leads over with education and advocacy is more of the publishing side, right? So I understand everything about the money, about how it comes in, the split sheets, the contracts, the registrations, and all the arduous things that come with that kind of aspect, if you would. So kind of a three-peat shell, if you would. I'm either helping you put your project out, helping you get whatever it is. You're launching a brand, you're doing a partnership with somebody. I'm either project managing that, I'm either educating you, or I'm teaching you how to actually make money. But it all goes back to us at Yoko ENT. I like to teach people how to fish. My favorite thing to do is to get fired, right? Because that means that I've been able to instill enough in you and educate you enough that you can now lead your career on your own and not have to depend on anybody. And you're creating a lane for yourself, regardless of what society tells you that you're supposed to be doing.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you to everyone. I hope everyone listening is able to kind of plug in, where they could get the most help from, depending on where you are in your journey as an artist. The first section we're going to get into is the money stuff. So I hope you're energized to start explaining that weird concept, because I want to know. So the first session is rights, royalties, and protecting your business. So for Jai, a lot of artists hear words like publishing, splits, and registrations, but they don't actually know where to start. If an independent artist wanted to get their house in order right now, what are the first 3 concrete steps you'd have them take to make sure they're properly set up to collect royalties?
First thing first is learn what your various music royalties are, right? So I always have a rule in the music industry. You cannot win a game of Monopoly if you do not know the rules. That is the music industry. You need to learn the rules first. That way you can understand, I can't roll doubles this amount of time. I need to put a hotel on this. You have to learn the rules first. It all starts with understanding the different categories, if you would, of money in the music industry. So for an example, you may have or you may not have heard terms. Get ready to write this down if you guys were out there listening, right? We have these different royalties. We have mechanical royalties. We have performance. We have sync royalties. These are all different categories of money in the music industry. And what's important to understand in the United States, things are a little bit more difficult. So every different category of money is paid out by a different company. So that's the second thing that I would tell people to understand is, number one, learn your royalties and learn the types of ways you can make money. 2, learn what companies pay these royalties out, because it's your responsibility to go to these companies and register every single song that you put out and give each company every piece of information about every song that you put out. Because in this digital age, when music is consumed, somebody is listening to it, money is made. But if these companies don't know where to send your money, your address, your ISRC code for this song, that money gets held in interest, right? And if you don't claim it within about 3 years, depending on what company it is, your money now goes to market share, which means Taylor Swift and UMG and Drake and all these people who you do not know exist and don't know that you exist are now getting your money because you never took the time to write your name on it, right? Real simple. The third thing, especially in this age of AI right now, and I'm going to be just 100% honest, some people don't understand the power of their intellectual property. So the third thing that I always tell people that's important is understand your copyrights, right? I just had a conversation with a client yesterday where I'm trying to explain to him. I said, listen, I just looked your man's catalog up. And out of 45 songs that he had, 35 of them been trained on AI already, right? But here's the thing. You have no copyrights on any of these tracks whatsoever. So even if we did do a class action lawsuit, you don't really have no proof that you actually own anything. right? So I don't think that people underestimate the value of what their catalogs bring. And I even asked him, I said, hey, you guys ever heard this term like I signed my masters or I own my masters? And he said, yeah. I said, so what are your masters? He said, that's how the labels are actually able to collect all the money. I said, the masters are your literal copyrights. That's exactly what it is. So when you hear people say, I own my masters, it means I own my copyrights. But if you're not going to go legally register your copyrights with the United States Library of Congress, it's he say versus she say in a world of tech right now. You feel me? So my top 3 things when I'm telling people to understand how to make money in this industry, learn the different ways that money are made, learn the companies that cut the checks, and learn how to make sure that you have ownership for your intellectual property. That way, if anything happens, you have proof that this piece of intellectual property is yours, and that's why you are able to exploit this record to get said checks.
I know that the one gap I'm noticing when it comes to things like that, artists don't necessarily want to do the work of learning the business side of things to get paid. So with that said, what do you think? Like, say someone is doing that part, but there's like something that's commonly being missed for them, keeping them from getting paid outside of just the ignorance of it.
Listen, it's the unsexy side until it's sexy,
Mm-hmm.
right? So it's not cool until the money is coming in. The way I try to take my clients is we change the perspective. All these registrations in these companies, they're just extra bank accounts, right? We
Mm-hmm.
just gotta do our job to monetize bank accounts to make sure the money is going where it gotta go. And when you put it in perspective like that, they like, okay, wait a minute, tell me more. So a lot of these things are for me perspective wise. People think like, oh, I gotta do more registrations. It's like, nah, you gotta go tell these people where to send your check. And when you change the perspective of it, I think everything changes. So I tell my clients, I'm like, I'm not saying you gotta do registrations all day, every day. It's 30 days in an average month. Take one day and log into one account per day and just make sure everything is copacetic. You took 4 days, maybe 15 minutes a piece. That's maybe a whole hour out of a month simply to make sure that your money was coming back to you. And when you put it in that way, is that hour worth that change? For me, I'm gonna put that hour in and get my paper. You feel me? Because I didn't took my time, my energy, my studio money, the breakup that I went through to write this song, the therapy sessions I had to pay through to get me from this breakup. I didn't put all this sweat equity in. I need my $7 back every month. You feel me? But that $7 eventually start adding up if you start treating your catalog like an asset early. You feel me? And now you have all kind of compound interest, and you got money that's just been stacking for a while. And what started off as a hobby can now lead you to this being your career. You just got to tell these people where to send your money.
What kind of, I guess, platforms would you recommend someone listening right now that didn't sign up for anything, don't have a business set up? It's like, get with this platform. I know it would depend on what is it they're looking for, but say they don't know, and just like you could start here, just set this up, and as a way to give you some type of foundation.
Easy. So I mean, there are certain platforms like regardless of what you do, you should be registered with them, right? So everybody should have a PRO. So that's a performance right organization. That could be ASCAP, BMI, CSAC, GMR. It's a couple of them. It all depends on which one fits best for your house, if you will. But you need to have one of those. There's a company called the MLC, the Mechanical Licensing Collective. You need to be with them, right? They are a fairly newer company that got made in 2021 based on the Music Modernization Act. So in 2018, some rules changed, if you would. Everybody said, you know what? There's a lot of digital money going on, but nobody's monitoring it, and it's just sitting in this cloud. We need to have transparency, and we need to start getting this money to where they need to go. So the government created this company called the MLC. The MLC plays what we call digital mechanical royalties. So you got a title account, you got a Spotify account, you pay $12.99 for Apple Music. Anytime you're consuming that music, if you playing that artist, that money for that artist is going to the MLC. A lot of people do not know that. You feel me? So that's another account that you need to be with. Sound Exchange is something similar. Sound Exchange pays for digital performance royalties. So think of that. We call it non-interactive streams. So think about like I don't pay for Pandora, right? So when I go listen to Pandora and I say I want to listen to Jay-Z, Lil Kim stopped playing. I mean, it's cool, but it's on like a shuffle vibe. You feel me? So anytime you're not playing for a platform, or maybe you like watching Music Choice on your TV or something like that, that money is going to Sound Exchange. So what's happening is like we're in the digital age and everybody just here streaming, right? And they don't realize it's different types of streams, meaning your money is being broken down between 3 different companies. But if you're not registering your money with all three companies, you're missing a bag. You feel me? So I think regardless of what people do, everybody should be signed up with at least those three companies to start with. Number one, those are the ones that are cutting checks. You feel me? They do not cost for the most part. MLC is not charging anything to cut you a check. You just have to give them your metadata and give them the information so they can cut your check. Same thing with Sound Exchange. ASCAP right now is free to join as a writer and a publisher. BMI is free to join as a publisher. These are government mandated companies that their job is to cut you a check. You just have to do your part and give them the information so they can cut said check.
I'm going to open this next question up to everyone because I think everyone can kind of speak to this. I think when it comes to like the business side, how does understanding this outside of rights and royalties, but just contracts, data, actually change the way an artist moves creatively and strategically? To be more specific, like have you ever seen business awareness really lead an artist or anyone to make a different creative or career decision that like paid off in the end?
Yeah.
Chaz, you want to
Oh.
go?
Yeah, I was like a singer for a second. I have definitely seen this pay off. I working with clients because we have our clients on the agency side, and then I also have like my roster that I work with day to day. Something I always go back to is operating as a business first and like wearing that hat in everything we do, and that also includes down to the creative strategy and how we execute a campaign and also like how we make decisions. Is this this like a short term decision that we're just like we want a quick win, or hey, we might get this result, or are we really thinking about, I say, like the marathon, the infrastructure that we're building over the long term, and making sure that those decisions like ladder up to, especially for artists, we always go back to what does success for you in this industry actually look and feel like, because it's different for every artist. And even creating campaigns and crafting strategies, I always say no two strategies are alike for anyone that I work with, but we do go back to, you have to understand in business. And I just want to say, as someone who's an entrepreneur myself, there's the music business, and like Jay was speaking to all these different parts of it, and that's just like one section of it, right? But there's also like business in general, like business taxes, how to, like, if you have an LLC or you're operating as an S corp, like, do you understand the implications that come with that? Like, there's all these other like legal parameters of how to actually build a sustainable business that I know, coming from working with artists that are definitely more developing for a very long time, it's like they just don't understand all of those components yet either. And I'm like, there's the music business, y'all, but there's also like actual business and things like got to be taken care of. Like, I am not a licensed tax professional, but I always speak to artists like, you should console one, because a lot of the things you're investing into, y'all, these are write-offs. Like, and that's a whole tax thing. So it's like understanding just different components, as I would like to say. But yeah, I think I have seen it play off with just how I even help my artists build their infrastructure and their businesses of the decisions we make, because we're always like, you're an asset, like everything we do, like Jay said, is like, it's IP, like, so how are we really moving, and are we moving in a direction that's going to really build not just the world for you, right? World building is a whole other thing we'll talk about, but also like the infrastructure that lasts. And I think a lot of artists are building on shaky foundations, and there's such an infrastructure that's needed. That's my word of the year, y'all. So you'll hear me say that again.
I think to kind of wrap this section up, it would behoove artists, independent artists. The first thing you should be doing is learning the business side of the industry. I think with any industry that you want to get into creatively, it would behoove you to get a foundation understanding of how to set yourself up for success. And that kind of leads really good into our next set of questions, which is about long term positioning. So I'm going to tap in Tanya for this section. From an editorial and programming perspective, what specifically separates artists who earn long term attention on streaming platforms from artists who just have like a short term spike around a release?
I think just to start off with this question, I definitely want to tack on to what we were saying about the last topic. I think a lot of times artists really want to use their right brain first and just really be creative all the time, which is great. Your music, your artistry comes from your creative side. But as both of these ladies said, you have to have a bit of a mindset shift to see yourself as a business person, right? And when it comes to editorial, I have to deal with a lot of different label reps, the majors, the indies, and a lot of times artists are not really hands on with who's dealing with their work and who is managing what's going on with their metadata. And you have to be hands on, right? And like you can't just give all that work to someone else, because as it was mentioned in the conversation, you're going to have your best interest at heart for your art, right? So I think artists who I see stick around longer are the ones who see themselves as not just a vocalist or producer, or they see themselves as an entrepreneur, as a business person who really wants to be tapped in, not to just the creative side, but the business side of thinking. And that really does help with longevity. And then just from like a programming perspective, when it comes to releases, I would say artists that are consistency is king. You know, when you have a consistent stream of releases that are always coming out quarterly, then I know I can always look to this person's team and they're going to say, yes, this person has a release for the fall, or this person has a release for Q1. Like people who are constantly in the studio, constantly cooking, then I know, okay, I have an audience that likes their music, and then I'll be able to feed them in Q2. Or yeah, just consistency is really important. Also a strong brand, so a strong visual identity, a strong, you know, community that you have. Then obviously if you have a strong community, you have more fans who will be tapped in on the app, who are going to be listening to you on digital streaming platforms, or also on radio. And I would say there's something else I wanted to say, but yeah, consistency is important, and just making sure you have, like, this is what I wanted to say, just good music. It's very simple. The sound is important. Okay. I stress this a lot. Good music, a good sound. A lot of times we have so much music coming in as curators. I can really only listen to the first 30 seconds or so. Are you going to capture me? Are you going to stop me in my tracks? Am I going to hear clear lyricism that moves me? Am I going to hear top-notch production that you just didn't just do this in, you know, with your friend, homie up the block, and then just put this on platforms? Like, nah, I need to know that you're serious about your craft, right? And it captures me. And a lot of times, I know we'll probably get a little bit deeper into editorial and programming later down the line, but as a programmer, I'm always looking for different ways I can package music on the platform. So the holidays, for example, a lot our best streaming happens during the Christmas season. It's just people are always listening to music around the holidays because music shapes so many of our holiday memories, right? If I hear somebody who's an independent artist, but they have a really cool Christmas song, I'm gonna playlist you because at this point in the year, I'm looking for Christmas music. So artists who really know how to tap into mood-based music, cultural moments, and place it, then there's always room for you on playlists or on a specific radio station channel. Just editorial programming will always have room for you if you're very clear on just what lane your music fits in.
You spoke on this a little bit, but I want to dig deeper about the consistency. What does meaningful consistency actually really look like today and age? Because I feel like we talk about the music industry changing so much, we don't really talk about what should be happening right now. You know, we kind of dwell on, well, back in the day, it used to be like this. Okay, so what actually should be happening now? So when we say consistency, is it, like you said, releasing every month, every quarter, or something else? And also, how should artists really be approaching their release strategies so they can like support discovery instead of just dumping music into the void?
I can start it off. I know you ladies do specifically release strategies as well, but I will say some of my best partners that I work with at labels who have really strong relationships with their artists, they don't just release the song and then that's it. That's the noise around it. Consistency could also mean always coming back to promote the same music. Like, okay, I didn't just put it out and then that's it. It just sits there. No, we have a pre-release plan and then we have a post-release plan. And so after release, then maybe a week later, there's some visuals for it. And then after that, 2 weeks later, there's an activation where you're performing the song. Like there's constant ways that you can keep it fresh. And when it comes to algorithms and social media, you can put something out there, right? But if you're not consistently posting it and promoting it after the release, then it may never get to certain people's feeds. So it's just consistently promoting the music that you already have. Maybe it's not the releases, like I'm releasing 50 songs per year, like one song. I know artists who released 52 songs in 1 year, a song per week, right? So that is a big feat. Not everybody could do that. But if you have some really good music and you're consistently reminding people, hey, don't forget this drop. Don't forget this is good for your summer playlist. Don't forget fall is coming up. This will be like a great mood for your mood playlist for fall or sunsets. Like, you know, that people like really have creative ways of consistently packaging and repackaging a release and then getting ready to plan for their next release. You just have to be on top of promoting what you already have. And then of course, you know, go into the studio when you have something. I just believe that speed is awarded in the universe. Like when you're on top, when you move speedily and you get into the studio, then more things will come back to you, right? So that's what I have to say about consistency, but I'm interested in hearing what other people have to say as well.
Anybody else want to share?
Yeah, I think release Tanya hit the nail on the head with just the strategy and how to be consistent. And because I work on social, consistency does look different for everyone. So I have, artists and clients who can easily post every single day and they just have an endless endless bank and gas on the pedal on that. And then I know I have other clients who sweet spots 3 to 4 times a week and it works perfectly well from them. So consistency and frequency, two different things, but I always go back to like what is sustainable for you, because it like even releasing music, I've seen artists like foot on the gas for a few weeks, a month, and then it's like crickets, and I'm like, ooh, okay. So yeah, similarly, like having that plan of attack. And I've coached artists like, hey, even if you have a rough plan in a Google Doc of how you want your release to look like, that is better than nothing and just like, oh, I don't know what I'm going to post this week. Like, no, we have a plan. So whenever we roll out releases with artists, we always know, like Tanya mentioned, we have pre-release, we have release week and month, and then we have a whole post-release plan. And everything might not be done, film edited or ready to execute, but we at least have something mapped and in place so those pieces can come together. So yeah, consistency definitely is key. And that's just in life, in business, in your career. But yeah, we'll speak more about marketing and the attention economy. But yeah, you have to have some sort of consistency that's sustainable for you.
That's a good segue into the next section about digital marketing, community, and fan development. So for you, Jazz, most of the artists in this room are like juggling everything themselves. Everyone doesn't have a team. So if an artist came to you who has limited time and money and resources, what exact marketing pillars would you have them focus on first over the next 90 days, and what can wait?
Oh, yeah. I think everyone's in a different point and different journey in their career, but I kind of think even if it's not the next 90 days, I say the builders that we all are in 2026. One of the things that I just did an article about this, but it's just about rented real estate. So social media is rented real estate. We do not own any of these platforms like the TikToks, the Instagrams, the Facebooks. I'm on social so much I can't even name them right now. But we don't own those platforms. It is rented real estate. I have seen it from clients to the celebrities and brands I used to work with every day. People have been suspended, accounts deleted. Y'all do not own your Instagrams. So those 10,000 followers you see, those are not yours. So something that I'm telling everyone is a non-negotiable in 2026 is to have your nurtured space. In marketing terms, it's your owned channel, but this is like your email list, your newsletter. We're going back to blogs. We got vlogs. what you own and where you can reach your audience. That's also your email and your SMS list. Obviously, everyone has a cell phone now. If you are only using social to reach your people, you're building on a shaky foundation. So I think having your own channel or space that you can nurture is just like non-negotiable. Also, too, if you have limited time, limited resources, and no team, we mentioned learning about the business, yes, but also tools that you can use, tools in tech, and I'm outside of just AI, but if like I still operate so much as like say a solopreneur, tools in tech are going to be your best friends. Whether maybe you need to work with someone like Jay, who can help you with project management. But if hey, maybe you can't invest those coins just yet, there's free project management tools. Like literally, it doesn't have to be, it could be a Trello, it could be a Monday. There's all sorts of ones, but tools in tech. So there's a lot of, and we'll share resources later, I know, but there's a lot of different tools in tech that really can just enable y'all to move faster, to get more work done, and honestly, to stay organized. I think organization, from being a manager in A&R, is the organization. So having everything in one place via tools and tech are going to be really huge for builders. And then I think too, like the last piece of like your team, um, and operating under not having a lot of resources, I feel like I'm someone who builds, I'm very resourceful, y'all. So I think honestly, outside of, education and newsletters, connect with people, not just other artists, like attending things like this. It is so freaking crucial. I still go to webinars as a marketer and I know so much of what they're talking about already, but I learn a gem from every conversation I go to. So always be a student. Like, no one's going to advocate for y'all better than you can advocate for yourself in this business. Like Jay was mentioning, no one cares about you getting your money if you don't care about getting your money. So I think those are just some of the things I think are non-negotiable, especially if, and no matter what, like as an artist, you have to have that hat on first. But yeah, those are some of the things that immediately come to mind.
Let's see if anyone wants to jump in before.
So I want to piggyback off Jazz, right, with not only community and especially with like in this post-COVID stage, human beings, you guys, like get back outside for real, for real. And outside don't necessarily gotta mean like in the mix, right? But I think that technology and everything that's changing made us like honestly look at the DJs a little bit differently, and we're not realizing that the DJs still control everything, right? So like DJs were the original algorithms type thing, right? And a lot of people honestly like sleep on the power of radio in 2026. And I think that being able to build actual relationships with these people, especially if you have not only limited bandwidth but limited budget, is something that people are missing out on. I'm gonna give you an example real quick of why I know this work. So when I first came up in the industry, I came up under a DJ, so I was already kind of just taught differently, right? I was this kid who anytime if I wanted one of my clients to interact with a DJ, I had to go court that DJ 3 times before I asked him anything, right? Which means I got to go post their flyers for free. I was always the youngest kid in my crew, so I used to always have to sneak in the club, sneak to buy the DJ a drink, and then just leave, right? I would never ask them to play anything like that. And eventually they just kept asking, who are you and what do you want? I'm like, just trying to be friends, so-and-so told me to come rock with you. So crazy thing, like 2-3 weeks ago, one of my clients, we're in the middle of a rollout. We've been working on it since January, right? Our first lead single was actually a song that he put out a year ago, just trying to refire up his crew, whatever. His new track, I sent it to my DJ just to get ears on it, right? Nothing else. All I said was, give me your opinion. I get a call 30 minutes later, and he said, is it sewn up? So for me, that means is the paperwork done and everything taken care of? And I said, of course it is. It's my client. Of course everything's sewn up. 15 minutes later, I get an email that says, your track is going to play today at 5:28 on the radio. Be ready. I didn't ask for anything. We didn't pay this man anything. We didn't do, it was just a level of having a relationship. This man's track has been in rotation for the last month. We did not pay this DJ. I had my artist go pull up on him. We took him out to Panera because that's what he liked to hang out with. You feel me? We bought him some CDs and some merch. But all of that came back to having relationships in real life with human beings. So I think people sometimes underestimate the value of simple humanality for real, for real. So in an age where, again, you might not have the most ducats, You might not have the most bandwidth. Quid pro quo is everything in this industry. So learn how to build relationships with actual human beings. See what value you can bring to them, and then hopefully they'll value you back to be able to help you in whatever way it is. But don't go with expectations. Just go with, hey, I heard you was somebody dope in the industry, and I'm just trying to learn more about you, and then see how far that takes you. Versus DMing somebody who you don't know, not doing a proper introduction. Hey, bro, I got like that already. Just gonna be like 300. You feel me? When you learn how to actually communicate and build with people, and you start working with them in real life, everything changes, and these relationships are priceless.
I'm so
I,
happy you
I
said
say
that because that's something I stress a lot. And me, even me as a moderator, I had to tell myself, Gian, it's not enough for you to pitch yourself in emails and show people your social media, your website. You also have to go to these people's events and support their things, and they have to feel your energy. They have to know you. So I feel like just across the board, we, like you said, we have gotten so spoiled with remote and being in the house. And there is a real human side to this industry that we're not thinking about, and everybody want to network up, network of course. There might be other artists who have access to things that you don't have. Build genuine relationships. I feel like people also don't know how to build relationships and sustain them. If you're only reaching out to people when you want something, that's not a relationship. You have to be genuine with people and build a friendship. So you know you're someone who has a hard time speaking to people, and it's going to lead to the brain part, the wellness part of it all. If you know that, seek a therapist to figure it out, because that's these are things that you can't just brush over if you want to be successful. Because there's a lot of things in the industry that's going to mess with your mental, but that social impact, how you're communicating with people, communication skills, you have to master that. I think you wanted to say something, Tanya, before.
Yeah, quickly. I just wanted to say Jay is so true when she said about radio. What she said about radio. A lot of times, like people just want to be streamed and put on playlists, but when it comes to streaming, you're making pennies. Like you need to. Your song needs to be played a lot of times before you make any money whatsoever. But radio is still very important in music. And when I started in my career, I started in radio and satellite radio. And my mentor back then said, as long as we have cars, people are going to listen to the radio. Point blank, period. And so I was like, okay, that's a good thing to know. And I do stress to artists all the time that I work with, like, yes, I work in streaming, but I started in radio. Make sure you try to get familiar with DJs, get familiar with programming directors, go to these events and get to know some of these on-air talents and like radio personalities that you can share your music with, because it just takes one song to get into a radio rotation for a while, and that's going to help you with monetization more quicker and easier for you than it would on the streaming side. And that's just to be completely honest.
Agreed. Thank you for that. We're gonna move into wellness, boundaries, and just career sustainability. I hinted to. I feel like a lot of what everyone here is talking about is like the untold hustle people don't think about when they say they want to be an artist, because some people are just like, as a creative, I have a song, I can rap, I can sing, I'm talented, I just want to do this. Not understand there's educational things you need to be grounding yourself in. There's a hustle to being outside, being at events and networking. So I think we often celebrate that, but rarely we talk about the recovery. So Miesha, I want to tap into you and your expertise. What are some early signs that an artist or creative may be just approaching burnout, even if they're still functioning on the outside?
Yes, and really quickly, what I wanted to say as far as radio, do not sleep on college radio. My mentor, my first mentor in the entertainment industry was the program director for North Carolina A&T WNAA 90.1, D. Cherie, rest in peace. And when I tell you they lit up the radio, like so many people listen to that radio station even today in Greensboro. So, and also where I'm from, Baltimore, Maryland. Am I saying WNA? I might be getting that wrong, but also Morgan State University has a college radio station as well that is off the chain. So don't sleep on college radio. I had to say that really quickly. Um, but as far as burnout indicators, I always say that there are periods of micro burnouts. And because today artists are in the mindset that they have to keep going, 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 they are ignoring their signs that they need to just sit and just relax and just pull away, be creative, or just meet with your team or handle all of your business. Everything that you all are saying, everything that you've said are things that I reiterate and talk about in sessions, and they come to me when they have not handle all of these things properly. So they become depressed, they don't want to go on. They are so concerned about the followers, the streams, the I have to create a new account. I mean so many different things. So the burnout can happen. It can show up as irritability, not wanting to sleep. It could be, behaviors in eating. It could be, changes in mood, not wanting to socialize. There are just a neglect of relationships, just a loss of enjoyment in things that they normally would do, difficulty with being creative. And it's not just the you know brain freeze, or I just need a minute to come up with something. It's just like, I don't feel creative, I don't feel worthy, I don't feel as if I can go on. So those are some things, some burnout indicators.
I think not just artists, but a lot of us tie our worth to
Yes.
numbers, career milestones, performances. How can we start to build just a healthier relationship with success and failure? Because that's just part of the plan. I know personally for me, just a nugget. I remember when I was working at BT, I was laid off. I was so depressed because I tied so much of my worth to that
Yep.
title because
Yep.
I was treated differently when I was working there as opposed to me just being Gion the hustler. It was
Yeah.
different. So I would love for us to kind of have an honest conversation about that.
I completely understand that and 1000% relate to it. There are some people now who treat me differently from when I was working with Island Def Jam than me, being a founder of my own business. I mean, literally, I've been on the front line with all of the major artists that you can even think of under the Universal Music Group umbrella. But since I'm not directly there anymore, people, oh, well, she doesn't know what she's talking about. She doesn't know what she's doing. She's just a mental health therapist. I'm like, nah, I actually know what I'm doing. And I did this way before, I even thought about doing mental health. But what I can say is we have to have an identity that is separate from what it is that we do. My identity, I am very, very sure about who I am today. I'm God's child, I'm Myra's daughter, I am a black woman, I am beautiful, I am successful. Like, I can roll all of these things off of my tongue, but you'll find that there are a lot of us who have a difficulty with doing that. I am not what I do. I am not, I practice psychotherapy, and my job is providing therapy and supporting people in their mental wellness journey. But at the core of who I am a child of God, and that's just who I am. And nobody can define me anymore. I don't allow people to define me anymore. I don't have the most followers on my new page, even on my business page. I don't have the most followers, but I don't care. I no longer allow that to define me. I cannot digest that. So I had to separate me from that, because outside of all of these things, when you get to know me and who I am a person of integrity. I am, trustworthy. I am someone who is a confidant. I can take things to the grave. Like, so we have to be able to identify who we are separate from what it is that we do.
Just a follow up to that, because all of us are working in this high pressure, performance driven
Yeah.
environment, what specific kind of wellness practices or just support systems have you seen make the biggest difference over time for us? Well, people like us, creatives.
I really think that for those of us who have supportive friends and family, that is very helpful. I can't speak on people's, relationships, but relationships where it doesn't matter what you do, where the relationship is not transactional, I think is very helpful. And I think for us, when we meet new people, I feel that it is so important for us to be genuine, be more genuine with each other. Yes, I want to tap in with everybody, honestly, about business after this, but that's not going to be my sole reason for remaining connected. And I always try to make sure that I let my girlfriends know, or my friends or whomever that comes into my space, hey, if you need anything outside of this, like the conversation doesn't always have to be about business or music. And if you come to me about something private, I promise you I'm going to keep it. You're not going to hear it anywhere. I'm not going to treat you different. I'm not going to do all those things that, can sometimes happen. So we probably have to be more trustworthy and be more honest with ourselves and other people when we become engaged.
Thank you for that. I'm going to move into a quick lightning round because I know we want to have time for Q&A. And I'm going to ask a question. This is open to everyone. Really quick, just answer. So what is one belief about the music industry that artists need to let go of in order to move forward?
They need a label. Let go of the fact that you think that you need a label in order to succeed. It's 2026. It barely is any labels left. They're only signing artists who are fully developed. You are the label right now.
Anyone else?
That you need an editorial playlist to be successful, because I hear it all the time and it's just not true. So, editorials, they're great when you land them, but I always say it's like sprinkles on the ice, icing on the cake, but it is not the end all be all for y'all's success. So, yeah, I would say that's one misconception I get a lot.
Anyone? Going once. I got one more question. Going once, going
Being a
twice.
therapist does not mean you're crazy.
I have one, and I'm not crazy. Tony, do you want to add one?
Can you ask the question one more time?
Yes. What is one belief about the music industry that artists need to let go of in order to move forward?
Hmm. I don't want to say anything shady. But that vocals have to be perfect. I'm tired of hearing like auto tune, and I want to hear real talent again. And I think, especially with the rise of AI music, I want to hear raw talent and raw vocals in music. I think it's a lot of this music is prepackaged, and I think people need to be okay with letting us hear their real voices.
I want to hear the vibrato. I want to hear a sneeze in the background. We have a Q&A question from Lana Clifford. I felt a competitive non-support spirit when reaching out and connecting literally to peers. How do you move through that positively?
That's a great question. Hi, Lana. I know Lana. Um, yeah, I, I don't know. I don't think I ever have competition, so I just be sending off my messages. Um, I shoot every shot, y'all. So I think kind of like what Miesha was alluding to about what you attach to your self-worth and sense of identity. I just literally just look at everything like shooting shots. And when I approach, whether it's sending someone a DM, an intro call, I just have no expectation for any sort of outcome. So I even do, and this is literally on my calendar, I send like 5 to 8 intro messages every single, like almost every single day. So I am actively in my DMs. Y'all, money is being made in these DMs. Like literally the DMs have changed my life because I don't care if you don't respond to me. It doesn't mean anything to me. It doesn't mean anything about me. Like I'm still fantastic. I'm still a rock star. I'm still out here, slaying the game. And often too, Lana, I do want to say people miss messages all the time because I do. I miss emails. Follow up. Y'all follow up. And that is just for every business opportunity across the board. I have artists that send me music, and the only reason that I know they sent it, even though it's in my submission form, is because they'll still send me a DM and say, "Hey, Jazz, I just want to let you know I sent you this submission. Now, guess what? I literally will go and check it out probably right then because they followed up with me." And then last piece I want to say is it's never a no. It's often just not a right now, or it just might not be in alignment. So I kind of just keep that always top of mind. Like it just might not be in the right now, or it just might not be aligned, and that's okay. You're not for everyone. Everyone's not for you, but I promise you, you're just right for the right people. So keep that in mind as y'all move through your careers, your journeys, no matter where you at or what you choose to do, because it's tough. It's tough out here, but I think like you got to keep your head up. And sometimes, as I always say, it's like I just take rejection like to the chin. Like it means nothing. It's just, yeah, you just keep moving on.
I just want to add to that because I notoriously use my platform to call out mean girls because navigating the media industry, which is connected to the music, I'm someone who connects with people with the idea. I just want to connect. I actually don't need nothing from you. I'm set. I just want community because I have my friends, but I don't have people in my actual network. Shouts to Asia, my girl. But when I meet someone who's mean or seems like they don't want to connect, the most thing you can do is just know what your intentions were. If they want to feel like that, that's cool. You can't control how people move. You can just control you and what your intentions were. And I would say not to dwell on it. It is what's the word? It is I was gonna say disalarming. It's another word. It's another word I'm trying to say. It's disappointing. Yes, when you're trying to build community, you're finding people who don't want to build it with you. But don't think too much into that. That says more about them than it does about you. You're gonna find your people. You're gonna find your tribe. And sometimes rejection is protection. Maybe it wasn't meant for you. You know, music industry jobs I applied to, I didn't get. I wasn't meant to be there. I talk too much. They're not gonna like me. So it's okay. Do we have any more questions? Cause I know we have 2 minutes and I have like one last going once, going twice. Okay, well thank you all to our panelists. You guys are amazing. Before we wrap, I would love for each of you to just share either a program, an opportunity, or just a community everyone here should know about.
Like for resources.
Yes, sorry.
Okay. Y'all, I guess like one resource community I would love like to shout out it would be the Digilog. So I think they are doing phenomenal, just global community initiatives for just our community in general. I had an opportunity to go to Digilog Days in New York City a couple years ago and have been connected just virtually. I live in the middle of nowhere, Nevada, so I do a lot of virtual stuff. So if you are outside like of a music hub, there's still a great global community to be part of.
I would say when it comes to the DSP space, a title is really big on championing independent artists. So right now they have a program or it's just a product feature called Upload. You can upload your music directly to the app and the editorial team if they find a fit for it on a different playlist or anything of sorts, you'll get listed right amongst the top A-list artists of your genre, which is really great because you're getting a lot of exposure to those fans that love these top stream playlists. And also, it's connected to Cash App, which is a sister company of Tidal. So if you get playlisted, you get money placed directly into your Cash App straight to you. So it's a great program that I've seen a lot of independent artists connect with. And I just wanted to put it out there. It's called Upload. If you don't know, you don't need to be a Tidal user. You can just go to tidal.com/upload and upload your music directly, and I've seen it open some doors for people. So look into it for sure.
Anyone?
I'll share two of them that I lean on real heavy. So the first one will be Sona. So the Songwriters of North America. We Are Sona is the website. I am the co-chair of education for this particular company, and Sona is pretty much a company who defends and advocates for the songwriters. So there are probably some things you've seen in the news right now, like for instance the No Fakes Act that just got passed, and we're trying to get it through Congress and stuff. We are the people who are advocating and fighting against these kind of bigger companies on behalf of songwriters. In the music industry, we are not allowed to have a union because we are all seen as independent contractors. It's a little bit weird. So Sony is kind of the closest thing that we have to a union. So not only do we make sure that we provide education, we provide different opportunities. We just did some stuff for Music Week with TikTok. We got Sona Awards coming up. We do these writing camp situations with BMG. We kind of do all kind of different things. So it's a great community for people who are looking to build community with like-minded people, network across, but also get you in some bigger doors. Sona has got me in some rooms that I still can't believe that I have walked in, to be 100% honest. And the second one that I would recommend is called Ramp. recording artists and music professionals with disabilities. So I am neurodivergent, believe it or not. And for a long time, I would not tell people that I was neurodivergent, because if I'm telling somebody that y'all want to manage your career, I also can't tell you that I got real bad memory sometimes, right? But being in community with these people have actually taught me how to 100% be myself. No masking, asking for the accommodations that I need, and fully just being me. And I'm gonna be honest, being in this community has led me to, again, some opportunities that I never thought that I would be able to do, and getting flown out to talk in different places just to tell people that I have a bad memory sometimes. You feel me? But it's a great community to be in. They do amazing things as well. One of my friends, Lachi, actually she's putting out a children's album that we all just featured on. So I got in the booth for the first time ever in my life, and we did this song called Fidget, because I fidget as part of me being neurodivergent, if you will, right? So it's a great community for, again, mental health is so important in this industry, and whether you are at a place where you want to let people know what you have going on or not, it's just a great place where you can learn how to be yourself. So I manage an artist who is blind from there. We got, as Lachi says, we got wheelies and sticks all over the place. But we are doing some amazing things. We are the reason why the Grammys now has ASL for the actual show, the pre-show, the red carpet, because these are things that we are actually advocating for. So Ramp, if you're in a place where you just want to live a healthier life, more like yourself, whether you have a disability that can be seen, unseen, or you're just trying to navigate different things going on with your mental, join Ramp and be part of our community.
Bring us home, Miesha.
That is awesome. So I would like to shout out an organization based in Atlanta, Georgia called Vibes Academy. I have partnered with them and we do an event that is called Sound Minds. And it is a time for creatives to get together and discuss nothing, just all things mental health. I give tips on how to manage mental health. We have a safe space where the creatives, whether they are engineers, producers, singer songwriters, rappers, they all discuss what has been going on with their mental health. It is a safe space. I am there to just partner with them, and it was started by Eric Rodriguez and his wife. Eric is a phenomenal engineer and teacher and sound person, who has worked with you. He's so humble. He and his wife are so amazing. They have worked with some of the top artists you wouldn't even imagine. But he teaches at a school, and I'm forgetting the name of the school right now. I hate that, but they are amazing. So Sound Minds, Vibes Academy, they hold a beautiful event at the end of the year, and they always, I mean, throughout the year, we do these Sound Mind events that are truly amazing. So please look them up and support them and come out to the events when you can.
Thank you all so much. Actually, I really enjoyed this conversation. I think not only was there a lot of gems, just there was just a lot of transparency to a lot of things we spoke about. I thank you all for being so open and being so honest and just providing such visibility to the people on this call, because I think a lot of things we named are things that they're dealing with. And it's not just the business side of things. I think there's just the mental, the emotional tax there is with navigating this industry when there's so many changes. So again, thank you all so very much. I wish there's a way I could be like, everyone give them a round of applause, but I'm going to do it. Thank you all so much for your expertise. I'm going to invite our founder. Yes, thank you. I'm going to invite our founder, Asia, to come back because I know that she didn't get to do her welcome. And if we can get the resource shared so they know where to find our amazing panelists, they can follow them, support the work they're doing, and all the good.
You gave me chance after chance and all you've used that. Tears in your eyes only prove that. Took all of your trust and I throw it all aside. It made sense in my mind. No, no. Took you for granted like I never lose you. I'm just hoping that I don't confuse you. I told you lies and you still believe me. Might be the time that you really leave me. You gave me grace and I gave you delay. You held it down and I drifted away. Now I'm staring at the mess that I made. Hands together praying it ain't too. It's like I missed a shot. It's like I dropped the ball. It's like I put our love on silent when you call. It's like I threw away this whole thing.
It just needed to be said, like, and from real industry go-getters like yourselves. And I really hope the artists and the creatives that is on this call, because I mean, y'all see y'all in the chat. I'm in the chat. Everybody in the chat, and it's just like y'all really just thank you so much for being here. Just take time. I really hope you really took notes. I really hope that you take away from these resources that is on the screen. Please scan the QR codes. Every single one of them have amazing brands, amazing ventures. Please make sure that you are tapping in. We are giving away a lot of resources, and that was the intentionality to this, is to make sure that you are walking away with something from each and every single one of them. And it's
Ain't got so much pain. I need you to believe me when I say I'm so.
So I just want to make sure, and then we're going to be picking. So first of all, shout out to Chelsea Studios for collaborating with us on this, because we here in New York, and we will pick our winner tonight after the listening session. Once again, just thank you to every single one of you that has been, from the panelists down to the attendees, to all of the artists and all of the creators that is on here. My heart is full of joy, and I just thank you so much. I can't even like thank you enough for doing this, for believing in something that I am working on, and I am here to always support, to always back you. Whatever you need, call me, please, email me, whatever it is. That's just the kind of person that I am. So thank you. So please, guys, please make sure that you're getting these QR codes. We have quite a few things that is happening with each and every one of the panelists, and consultations, free educational resources, and we have webinars. We have a lot of things. We're at Genius platform. We're doing artist spotlight for the month of July. So tap in with us. You got some music to share. You got some, new video coming up. We want to spotlight you as well. We got some royalties, assets for you to take away with that. So if you missed that and everything like that, please make sure you tap in with us so we can get these things back over to you. All right. And then we're going to go into our listening session. So once again, thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
I don't know why my screen was off. My screen was off the whole time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look, tech issues. I'm sorry, y'all. Bye.
that's okay.
We heard you though, loud and clear.
Okay, that's good. But we're gonna go into our listening session. So I thank you so much, ladies, for joining. So
Okay.
you are able to. Then we have Tyan, and I believe Cedric Perry. He's getting ready to come in, and we're gonna be able to. And I just really thank you guys from the bottom of my heart for just being here tonight.
Oh, no problem. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank
Of
you.
course,
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
Alrighty.
All right,
Bye.
so I'm gonna remove y'all. So I'm just going to see. I know Cedric he has to come in. So he's coming in now. All right.
Oh,
Yes, welcome, Seti P.
how are
All
y'all
right.
today?
So what I love about this part here is that we have a full list of some artists that we are going to have. We have the music queued up. We're ready to get your feedback. But before we do, I know Tanya, you were amazingly a part of the first part of the hour with the panel. But I want to give some time for Seti P to kind of jump in here, kind of talk about what you do and how you do and all that good stuff.
No problem, no problem. So, again, my name is Cedric Perry, known to most in the music circle as Ceddy P. I am an artist manager. I also co-founder of the label Renaissance Music Records out of New Jersey. So that's where I make most of my name as far as helping artists there. But in addition to that, I am a playlist curator. I have playlists on Spotify and Audio Mac, and I also happen to be one of the OG community curators for the Digilog. So I represent the region of Jersey. Jersey's where we from, so shout out Jersey. But just happy to be here. You know, author, firefighter, friend. I got a bunch of titles, but mainly, just uh, here to help anybody in any way that I can, and represent for the Ball brothers across the world.
Here you go. Bro, brother. And Tanya, I know we had a few more join in since for the listening session. So if you can go back over your expertise.
Of course, I'm Tanya. I worked for 7 years on air and programming at SiriusXM. Then I moved into streaming at Tidal. I currently have a program called the Streaming Strategy Intensive where I work with independent artists to help them with their streaming strategies based on what I know as an insider, as a curator. And most recently, my time at Tidal, I worked on a bunch of different genre pages. I curated what was seen on the Explore page, the home page, and I had a big hand in all of the campaigns that we will launch. So, Black History Month, Women's History Month, summer playlists, mood playlists, all of the suite of playlists that would go across those campaigns and platforms. I would choose them and work with the genre lead. So, I've listened to a lot of different types of music, and I could tell you what we playlist and kind of the science behind what we choose.
All right. Love it. So we're going to go ahead and kick off. So the first track that we're going to hear from tonight is by Winston Ward. This is Mess That I Made.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know that I'm sorry.
I'm going to restart it. Sorry.
Forgive me, I'm sorry. Sitting in the dark with your last text. Never been a man who regrets, but this one it's different. Like a song that I never got to finish. But I'm still grateful when I try. Baby, don't say goodbye. Always replay what I could have done right. Just don't walk on my line. Took you for granted like I never lose you. I'm just hoping that I don't confuse you. I told you lies and you still believe me. Might be the time that you really leave me. You gave me grace and I gave you delay. You held it down and I drifted away. Now I'm staring at the mess that I made. Hands together praying it ain't too. It's like I missed a shot. It's like I dropped the ball. It's like I put our love on silent when you call. It's like I threw away this whole thing and caused so much pain. I need you to believe me when I say that I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know that I'm sorry. Forgive.
All right. That was Winston Ward Jr., Mess That I Made.
So ladies first. So Tanya, you can have first crack.
Thank you. So I enjoy Winston's song. Strong vocals, strong production. I like that. I know it fits into the R&B lane. I kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but a lot of times meeting some rising artists, they'll say, "Oh, I'm more fluid. Like I don't really fit one genre." But I like that Winston is clear on R&B, right? And when I hear this type of song, I would automatically start thinking, okay, what campaign is coming up next? I think this would be great for a R&B it's complicated maybe playlist or Valentine's Day. I think that would be great for when you're thinking of how to pitch a song like this. You would think, what's next on the calendar that I can pitch this editorially. And I enjoyed that song by Winston. I think it was definitely strong.
I have to co-sign with Tanya. I like the vibe of the record. It is very intentional and you can is well directed, as she said, into the R&B space. It actually kind of gives me a little bit of kind of a 2000s, like early 2000s, late 90s vibe, like Jaheim-ish type of vibe. So yeah, I'm cool with that. I think the thing that I want to present to everybody here, what I'm listening for, is similar to what Tanya was saying, is like just understanding what your record does and what leverage it has and where you should be positioning it at, because that's going to be key. I think too often artists are just like, let me just put this everywhere, and it doesn't fit everywhere, and that's where you kind of lose the steam from. So you want to get it in the right hands, and then where people tell them where they should be enjoying it at. So, but I do like it. It definitely sounds like a little late night vibe, a drive vibe. I'm rocking with it.
I checked out his Instagram too while the song was playing. He has a strong presence over there on Instagram. So keep going,
Okay.
Winston.
All right, I love this. I love this. That's right. Look at them social media platforms. All right. So the next artist we have, she goes by the name of Maya, and this is Message. Finally.
Rewind to a much simpler time. I was gifted, young and restless, striving to always aim for my best. But I was too shy to a fuck, couldn't even try. A prisoner to my mind, can a star eclipse its own shine? How come the hero always doubts their true potential? Why is my nature to be so damn existential? Why did it? I committed, got on my knees and submitted. Took a leap of faith, now I fly, limitless for the sky. This time around, I'm betting on me. Finally, when you got it like that, it's yours. Opening my own doors. They say, what you gonna do when it rains? No stranger to tragedy, ain't scared of a little debris. They say she don't got what it takes. Nobody is a melody, constructing my own reality. I walk to the beat of my own drum. I'm such a conundrum. That's really just fascination, baby. I'm your new inspiration, baby. Gotta read. Life is a rodeo and I'ma keep here to bring it to you, but I'ma keep winning. Angel face and I'ma keep on sinning. How come the hero always doubts their true potential? When it rains, it pours, and it can be so damn torrential. I did it, I committed. Pardon my friends, but I should.
All right, that was Maya.
Okay. I see what you're going. I see where you're going with this. I like the record a lot. It's a venture outside of, like I said, our R&B and hip hop space. It gives me a little bit of I'm gonna say pop for lack of a better word was coming to me, but I think also the song has some potential syncability, if I can make up words. And it definitely sounds like something that you would hear in terms of like a coming age type of show or sitcom with somebody going through some challenges. So I definitely want you to just continue to have your mind expanded and looking for all the different ways you can get your records out there. But I like this, and I'm sure Tanya can offer more on in terms of like how to position. But I like it a lot.
I think you hit the nail on the head with that, Seti, that it does feel like a pop track. And I think it's harder sometimes for pop production to be on point. But as soon as it started playing, I said, these are some strong pop melodies. So I agree that it could fit in like a pop dance space. And I think that Maya, I don't know if you wrote the song, if you had a co-writer or whatever, but I think the lyricism was strong. I got to see like how you think, and I feel like you are really being expressive on this track with your lyrics. I would have liked to hear a few more melodies, maybe to tie everything together. Like harmonies, I mean to say, not melodies, more harmonies to tie everything together. But this is definitely danceable, and I think there's placement for it on dance pop tracks. So if pop is your lane, I don't know if you're leaning for R&B pop, but I think you have strong pop production here. So I would say keep going in that direction for sure.
And good note on that too, Tanya, in terms of the harmonies, because I was thinking that a little bit myself, especially maybe in like towards the end of the verses, or leading into that would definitely be dope. But as constructed, I definitely think it's a great start.
All right. So before we get into that, the next artist that we're going to have is Malik Rose. And this is Permission. So let me just go ahead.
Gotta get permission.
Permission is about trying to look for everyone else's approval in the space to be yourself, to be you. But in actuality, I'm the only one who can give myself permission, and no one else. Woo! Because why am I looking for someone else to tell me who I'm supposed to be? How great I am. I know who I am. Why would I look for you to tell me who I am? I don't need your permission to be great. I've been knew I was great. And now I'm fucking home again.
I never had a problem being me. Since I knew I'd be a star when I was 3. They said I was too much, fuck you mean. Tried to dim my light, yet I burn so brightly. At times I felt I had to hide. I know now that I'm meant to fly. And let me tell you why. Just give me permission. Just give me permission to be free. Just give me permission. Just give me permission to be me. When I feel this rhythm deep inside my chest, no more second guessing. I deserve the best, and this is my life.
All right, that was Malik.
Definitely inspirational song there. And I think it definitely has that danceability as well. I think as from a curator's perspective, starting with the monologue is kind of tough for me, because as I'm listening, I want to hear the vocal side first and the music of it all. I think maybe that monologue is great for the song and for the storytelling, but maybe different placement in the song. You know, start with your verse, then maybe your chorus, and I want to hear that hook, and then we can get into that monologue maybe a little bit closer to the end. I think that would tie it together a bit better. But I think Malik has a good foundation here with this song, and it's fun and it's inspirational. Like I said, I think it will work also in a sync as well, as Seti had mentioned with the last inspirational song that we heard.
So I'm going to tag along here. I think, first of all, shout out to the empowering songs. We need a little bit of that, just a little. But what I would say to add to that is, while being empowering, positioning in terms and song structure is really, really important. It's more specifically when you're talking about playlisting and curating, because these are things that if you talk to any curator, they're going to tell you, watch for long intros, watch for, a lot of text in the beginning to get the songs, because you have to think a majority, I won't say a majority, but there will be an audience that is unfamiliar with you. And with the short attention span, you want to punch them in the mouth, for lack of a better word, fast and with and strong. So I do think that, again, with the messaging, what I try to advise some of my artists to do is to consider things like, adding those as skits or adding those as things as at the end, and also being conscious of your audience. So like if that's something for like a project where you can blend that into the beginning of a song, but also having a version, if that's something that's really important to you, having a version that does not have the intro necessarily at the beginning. That being said, as far as the song, I like the production on the song. I do want to continue to challenge you constructively, challenge you to continue to build in terms of with the vocals, but also just even with the creative aspect of empowering. So if that makes sense, but I do like this the foundation of the record as well.
All right, so let's keep this train moving. So we have Trill Manny with Roll.
get high. Never thought you would run my mind. The way you roll feels so nice. It's the way.
I hate the way I have to abruptly click. I wish there was like a
You gotta
fader.
fade out, girl.
We gotta get you a
Like,
fader.
I can fade out the music. Like Riverside, upgrade that. Okay. But that was Manny. Trill
So-
Manny, sorry. Apologies. Respect on the name.
Respect. Tonya, you want to go or you want?
I'll say quickly, Trill Manny, somebody said it in the chat, the instrumental goes crazy. I don't know if you saw, but immediately, like Seti and I and Asia, we locked in. I really enjoyed the beats. But I will say, as an artist, like artistically, Trill, Manny, your choices and your placement, like the way you chose to ride the melody to that made it more enjoyable for me as a curator to say, oh, this is a strong artist who knows how to hear a track and then knows where he fits in, knows his flow, like knows his artistry and how to fit in with that melody. I think I really enjoyed it, honestly. And it was just like a fun, mellow R&B track. And obviously that would appeal to a Gen Z crowd, a alpha crowd. These are the things that you want to appeal to remain fresh and to remain young. So I enjoyed that track for sure.
I definitely feel like the track has some versatility because while Tonya mentioned the Gen Z crowd, I also feels like it has a little bit of a throwback elements in it as well, which would allow, a Gen Y, millennial. I won't go as far as millennials, but maybe like definitely that crowd right behind where they can enjoy it as well. I do think that you had a lot of chemistry with the beat. The production was smooth. The one thing that I would advise again is just continuing to develop the relationship with your engineers. And I'm gonna be careful because I hate when I get on the listening sessions and people be like trying to nitpick about little stuff and then they let celebrities just ride with their music. But one thing that caught my ear a little bit was I heard the tag in the production in the song kind of will pop in a little bit. I don't know if that was the producer tag, but things like that are things you want to kind of work with your engineer to take out or just kind of make sure that you are blending, that doing different things that can continue to enhance, accentuate your vocals. So that being said, the actual song, the feel and the flow of the song, as Tonya said, we was rocking as soon as the beat came on. Ain't gonna lie, like my foot wasn't tapping, you know what I mean? But yeah, you definitely got something there.
All right. So we are gonna go next to Nancia featuring Maya and Alexis Genesis with the single Too Far.
I don't want this no more. Give you all my love and you gave us something more. So I stopped reminiscing, stopped looking back. No strings attached, I'm finally over you. See, now this is the life you choose. Gave you loving, never fronting, you were my everything. To me, what you say got me on the front line. It's a battle every day. Be real, baby, I'm a treasure. Fumble your jewels, you gon' regret it forever. Played in my face like it was all a game. Crying right now, but it's gon' be okay. Back against the wall, I got you cornered. Rumor has it you ain't true, so moving forward, I'm taking the keys, trips overseas, you seen the last of me. Don't call my friends, they finna get you, that's a guarantee. Oh, thought this relationship was hallowed. Little did I know you moving sneaky like a shadow. Sended I didn't see a name pop up on your screen. Got a grimy day about you, I stopped reminiscing, I stopped looking back. No strings attached, I'm finally over you. This is the life you choose. Gave you loving, never fronting, you were my everything. To me, what what you say. Got me on the front lines. It's a battle.
All right, that's too far.
Sadie, you can go first for this one.
Okay. So is Nuncy, is that how you pronounce it? I believe that's what it said here.
I think it Nouncia.
Okay.
Please forgive me if
it say Nuncia in the chat. So forgive me if I'm wrong. But I definitely like the vibe of the record. I like the songwriting.
Oh, no, I'm sorry. I do apologize. So Nouncia.
Nuncia.
So
Okay.
Noon Day Sia. Okay, got you.
Okay. So I like the record. I actually like the songwriting of the record. I definitely found some, feeling drawn in by the words. I would say, similar to what I was saying in the last one, again, I would love to see just a little bit more massaging in terms of the balancing of the vocals, not to be all technical, but just trying to, offer the constructive criticism. But the tone of the song, I think the energy of the song is there. But these are things that, getting this information now allows you to be able to kind of work on that and build that and lead up to, the record would get my attention, so that I'll be paying attention to you down the road, if that makes sense.
I can agree with that. I think I love how the song immediately came out with the vocal. I was like, yes, I'm tuned in, Nuntia. Thank you. You hit me with a vocal right away, which I was excited about, and it sounded good. And I think because your vocals are strong, I feel like out of the music we've heard, you came through with some strong vocals. At some points, it was a bit busy, right? So it seemed like some points you were rapping, and then I was still hearing like some vocal harmonies that were just as loud. So I was trying to get into the rap, but it was a little bit harder to listen to what was being said. And I want to give everything its space, right? I wanted to be able to hear all of the different elements. And I think somewhere in the mix, the harmonies, the rapping, it was like competing with each other a little bit. So I think, like I said, he was saying, just getting there with your engineer to say, I want people to really hear me strongly what I have to say at this particular point, so we can pull back a little bit with the harmonies, still have it in the background. Don't be afraid to speak up when it's being mixed, to say, this is how I want it. Like, take control there, take ownership there. But I think it was a strong song. I enjoyed it. The vocals were my favorite part of the song, but I just think it had a good vibe that we really were just vibing to overall. So that I feel good about that track for sure.
Okay. So we're going to go next to Pink Pimp featuring New Soul, Could Have Been, Get It Together.
I'm locked in off the name.
Really gotta lock in on some shit. I get disciplined, I'ma have my foot on all these niggas' necks. What a cuz to a dream deferred. What good is the world's best song that ain't nobody heard? Nigga, when you gonna learn? You put in the work and I promise the tables will turn. Don't be concerned with none of these lame ass niggas. Oh, you wanna change my nigga? They get out your own way, my nigga. No cap. I seen a slew of opportunities that I miss being slow on the uptake. How many hours of my day be wasted simply because I wake up late? No more mediocrity, I can't afford to sleep. I need to feed my friends and family. This shit ain't for the weak. You can't compete from me, yo. See, it's time to get up off your ass, cause time is running from you fast and you won't never get it back. Gotta get back on my shit. Too much smoking and drinking, don't pass out quick. Nigga, just sit down and think about where you could've been if you had just locked in. Could've been on a world tour, could've been charted if you would've just worked more. FOMO got me unfocused, so extroverted, I feel like I cannot control it. Need to get out my emotions, take a step back, zoom in and determine my motives. I'm trying to do this forever. If that's the case, then I do gotta get it together. That shit together, my nigga. I do gotta get it together. Yeah. I do gotta get it together. Yeah, alright. I do gotta get it together.
Yeah, this just might be the game you don't wanna play for real. Cause there's a higher goal to please your soul. You have yet to see it though, you really play for real. See your goal but let distractions touch it though. You put for no self-control, self-worry yet so self-harmful. Biggest op is you, your biggest enemy. You ain't gotta worry about.
almost kept this go spinning for a minute. All right, so that was Pink Pimp featuring New Soul. Could have been.
Tanya, you up?
Nah, we were all locked in on that one. Like if it kept riding out, I feel like we all would have been fine. I think that was a phenomenal track. I like how there was 2 artists on this, correct? Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah. I think they both, the flow was strong for both artists. There were a lot of switching up and like changes that happened that kept me even more intrigued. Like when I was listening to one flow was switch up and I'm like, okay, like you get into a new little flow. So I really enjoyed this track, and I think even for the beat, like when I think about artist development just in general, I feel like these artists listened to this beat and knew that the content and just like the lyrics should be more around hustle and grit, because it just matched it really well. Like what they were speaking about matched the beat really well, and I think that is really important when it comes to just being an artist. So I really appreciate that here what they did with this track.
I just want to say, I know I'm not on here to give my 2 cents, but I was like, this definitely gave down south.
Yeah, it gave me some
down south.
Gangsta Grizzles. Yeah, like
like a little Pimp C's nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that we're all in agreement in terms of the energy and of the record, as well as the lyrical flexing, if you will. I think the good thing about the record, as Tanya mentioned, is you kept us moving. You kept us guessing a little bit. It was never too monotonous or mundane at any point in the record, which is very, very important for where we are in hip hop culture. Having the ability to kind of keep it moving, so to speak, but still saying something of importance throughout the whole record. The energy fit. I could see that in a number of different lanes in terms of hip hop, whether that's, I'm on my grind. Is that a workout record? You know what I mean? It's a couple of different things. So it's, again, the one thing I want to charge to each of you all, but especially Pink Pimp, is you want to know what your record does and what it's supposed to, like what its intentions are, because by having that, it'll help you with all the other business elements of the records, the rollout, the content, the pitching, all of that. So
yeah, I definitely agree, and I think just as somebody who's worked on mood playlists, I think I like that you mentioned the workout aspect. Like, I just want to say this here. A lot of times when it comes to editorial placements, the flagship playlists or the sub flagship playlists are always constantly being renewed with new music, like new releases, right? But these mood playlists, like a hip hop workout playlist or a pop workout or a pop party or R&B party, like these mood playlists, they have less churn, right? So as an emerging artist, it's an indie artist, somebody who's trying to get themselves out there and pitch themselves, I think pitching that as a hip hop workout track based on the BPM and based on the beat and all these different things is a good way to position yourself for some of these mood playlists. Like once an artist on a mood playlist, you're going to be on there for a long time. So that's a good thing to just know and keep in your back pocket when it comes to pitching yourself for playlists and editorial. Like, think about where your song could potentially fit on not just new release side of editorial, but like moods or campaigns.
All right. So next, we're going to switch this up. We Are Band Nerds, Fade Away.
Maybe we should take a break. I feel it like I made a mistake. I know I'm sorry, but apologies ain't where we came from. It's not your fault, it's mine.
when you see Chloride Beach, your favorite color clothing. With a heart and heart, we going apart, and I left a couple broken. Time to expose them. Got a sinking notion that this is ended and no one knows when. Oh, why? Trust me, but if it don't fit, you must have quit. If you pass in a judgment, you get a habit of open the room because it's lit. Till I blame, till I grin. I see all the bullshit just doesn't quit. See the battle from the war and cussing kids. The feeling the patterns of bullet, I'm taking hits. We're done. Yeah, I'm faded, become so fucking jaded. Losing my mind like my patience. I can see this turn to hatred. All of those years you gave me, you probably thinking that all of it's wasted. Now I see clearly like basic. Hit a gas, now we gotta face it. To try to be positive. Why do I feel the opposite? I can get out of this. Vibe that I'm feeling. It must be the right providence. I think that God did it. I try to conceal these feelings of guilt, feelings of pain. Now I can see that you feeling the same. But why is it I'm always taking the blame? Bang. I wanna feel your pain.
All right. We are Band Nerds. They are a alternative rock band.
I'm with it. Let me just put that out there. Like I said, you know, for shout out my Gen Zs, shout out my millennials. But you know, back in the day, you had to know about your rock bands, you know, your Linkin Park, your Coldplay, and all of that, and that took me back a little bit. You know what I mean? So I was rocking with it. Nice energy. It just had me rocking. I ain't gonna hold you. I think the energy of the record, it left me, like I said, in a place like high energy. So I'm just automatically thinking about where that would go. But we don't really get up too many of these type of records anymore. So like your uniqueness is really, really gonna be your main leverage. So I gotta, yeah, it went up for me. I gotta tap in a little bit more.
Yeah, I can definitely agree with that. I went on the Instagram page. It says alternative hip hop new metal. I think that really captures what we just heard, because even when the rapping section came on, I was like, hold up, wait. Because it was it was very metal and like rock heavy, which we love, we can mix it up. But then once the hip hop came, I said, wow, this is a great blend of two strong, completely different genres coming together, right? In one band. I loved it a lot. And I think even I know I said it's important to know your genre and kind of be ready to speak to that lane when you're a rising artist. But I did create, like when I was at Tidal, I launched the cross genre page, which had we had playlists that were just based on tempo, and I thought that was pretty cool. Like we had an up tempo, mid tempo, and it was all based on BPM, so it was just like a modge podge of different songs that could just match tempo. So I think for music like this, you could think of ways to package it, for curators, like, hey, it's a little bit different, but I believe it would fit here, right? And I see that in the comments that We Are Band Nerds is performing live at the Shrine in Harlem this Sunday. And as it was playing, I was like, I wonder what these guys would sound like live, like, or just even to be in the room, like feel the energy of a live performance. I know that y'all are gonna give a show for sure, based on just hearing this one song. So I really enjoyed that track today.
Yeah, that Easy Pass be crazy, but I might have to, I might make the trip. But if y'all are from, I would like to know where they from, if anybody knows. But I'm gonna look into the Instagram because got some collab potential over here. But
yeah, they actually, and then I think they had Tanika G put it in there. They are performing on this Sunday
from Texas. Okay, yeah, they
said. Let me know if you like to go.
Yeah. Like I said, that I'm gonna have to catch the train because the Easy Pass is they the ops right now. But you understand, we might make a way.
All right, so two of the artists are not actually in. It looked like they headed out. So I'm just gonna play one more track due to timing at this present time. So we are going to get Sijan White Leaves.
I don't even know if more people realize that or not.
know. That means that you have control of your destiny. Other people don't influence you. Now, you do reserve the right to tune in and listen. Listen here. Don't let them take you from yourself. They'll try to put you in a cell. The coldest world that I see, it's so icy. Look up at the white flames, that's where you'll find peace. At the white flames, that's where you'll find peace. Look up at the white flames, that's where you'll find peace. At the white flames, that's where you'll find peace. Oh yeah, and I'm inside, kinda right, never need a lamp, but I felt before. If I think of the pain deep inside and I cannot ignore. Time at a time I would tell myself how much that I wanted more. Keep the loved ones with me just for the moment, so I'll be sure. No limits, in this world that's how you get what you want. I'm ready, and I don't wanna be the one stuck while living. I don't wanna be the one crushed from waiting. I just wanna be up there when I feel that summer breeze. Every day I pray until we're free. Started feeling this way every
All right. That was Tijan, White Leaves.
Study, you were dancing pretty hard for that one, so I'll let you go.
Don't put me out there like
Nah,
that.
I thought you had the little.
I mean, he had the arms
You know, I let him know.
everything.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. With all respect to everybody, because we had some heavy hitters here. I think that was a clear hit here. That was really smooth. It gave me just enough of a R&B feel, but it had a little bit of like some pop elements in there too. But a nice cruise beat. The way that he was on the beat perfectly, seamlessly. Had, like I said, it's one of the other songs that we mentioned too. With Pink Pimp, of course, but just giving me a little bit of movement, for lack of better word. Just like take me through some different stages of the record, make me feel some different things on there, and the record was also catchy, which is something that we haven't talked about too much on here, but the importance of having something that is repetitive for the listener, not saying repetitive in a negative way, but repetitive for the audience to get a hold of, because that's what makes hit records. So I was rocking with it, I guess, apparently, Tonya, but but yes, I enjoyed it.
I agree. A strong hook is still very important, because it makes people buy into it. It makes people, like, fans want to sing along to it. And I think White Leaves definitely gave us that vibe. It definitely made us dance, that's for sure. And I think it would be perfect for a summer playlist. This is the perfect time to have it out there. And I went on, I've been checking the Instagrams in between here and there. So I see there's like a July 4th performance with Tejan, I believe. So that's good to have this type of song be out there as the weather is warming up, especially, I don't know where you're located, but in New York, we've been outside, somebody said, for 15 business days. Like, that's why the weather had to shut down.
Yeah,
because we were doing a little bit too much. But this is the perfect song for people outside, for warm weather, for sunny days. And I think that's exactly how I would playlist it if I was to be past this track, if it was on my desk. So I enjoyed it. I thought it was great.
Okay.
Yeah, that song is definitely, if at the performance, that song is going to go. I think everybody sequencing is very important in terms of set lists and shows, but that song will leave a mark. If I heard that live, I feel like it, so yeah, kudos to you. I like the record a lot.
All right. So first off, that's the wrap up. The just kind of going through the music. I wanted to thank you so much, Tanya. Thank you so much, Seti. In regards to thank you those all the artists that have stayed, those who are listening and participating. So I do, as I I've been here, taking my notes and also going through because we do have to pick a winner for Chelsea Studios NYC studio time. So you with this studio time, you receive I believe up to 4 to 5 hours studio time with Chelsea Studios in their main base of the studio here in Manhattan. And I mean, the studios and with one of their junior engineers. So, I mean, I think this is amazing because the one thing that I thought about was for artists that I wanted to be able to give back is that, hey, studio costs money. Studio time costs money,
Yeah.
right? So, which way can I help an artist to be able to save some money somewhere, at least on that part? So, thank you. This is in collaboration with Chelsea Studios NYC. And I want to give just a few thoughts and just some of the tips before I say the winner, before we wrap up out of here, really quick. So, what was based on this is not that you were just the best. It was more of the effort, the writing, like the curation of just how you was able to put your music together. And there's other things that we're also listening to, like we're listening to or I'm paying attention to the lyricism. I'm paying attention to, the sounds, the production, everything on the back end of it, how everything is coming together. At least, even if it's not perfect, it's like we can kind of see how it's shaping. We can kind of see, or we can hear the story in the sense of the music. So I want to thank everybody that definitely participated, that came in, but we have chosen Winston Ward Jr.
Hey.
as our winner. So I really hope, so please tap in with me so we can get you the full details of everything so that you can um, be able to connect with Chelsea Studios in regards to working towards any of the project or a new single that you may have coming out, and also so that we can be able to feature you on the platform.
Nice.
So I'm going to bring Gian, Miss Gianna, our lovely moderator, back on, and we're going to go ahead and close out. So once again, thank you, everyone. First of all, shout out to my amazing, 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 amazing partner in crime, Shannon, my Gaga girl here. She is on the back end, so you can't see her, but she's been amazing every single day, every single week. Where us, especially us, reaching out to all the panelists, all for our listening session, to just to be able to have these conversations. Thank you, Seti, for coming in at last minute as well. I just can't even. I just say so. Thank you, thank you. So I'm gonna shoot Gian back on stage, and we're gonna close this out. Thank y'all so much for all y'all good feedback.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hey.
And we have a new artist. This is my baby Prince. His album's coming out. But yes, thank you guys so much for joining us. Before we wrap, I want to say something that's off the books. I know we spoke a lot about resources and visibility. I have a webinar next month, and I'm offering for anyone who is a part of this series 10% off for you to join. It's called Visible by Design. I have an amazing she's an award-winning creative producer, strategist, and she's really good with content. So brands hire her and pay her big bucks to figure out how to create content. So she's doing this service for anyone who's a creative, who has the idea, you know what you want to do, but you just don't know how to get it on your socials. We're doing an interactive session. It's not a panel. This is an active working session with homework, with a worksheet. We're going to get into the nitty gritty. And if you use the code, I'm gonna do it live. But if you use the code GENEUS, you will get 10% off. It's $25. I think 10% is like 22. Actually, I'm gonna do like $10 off to make it feel like something. I feel like 10% off is so cheap. But if you're part of this series, use promo code GENEUS and you'll get $10 off. I think anyone on this call will, if you struggle with just social media, you will actually benefit from that. So that's something I want to give back and just contribute to this. Yes, for someone putting it in there. I'm going to make the code live. I actually was doing it before you called me up. I was like, damn, I can't even do it in time. But yeah, so just to kind of wrap everything again, I really want to just ground us in why this series was created. I don't want to speak to Asia, but knowing her, knowing the work, I know that this space is not just about the panels. It's really just about making sure that you as artists and creatives, you don't have to navigate this industry in the dark. You don't have to navigate it alone. You don't have to navigate it thinking that people don't want to pour into you. You know, you deserve the clarity, you deserve the access, and you deserve community. So this is why these spaces are here. Everyone committed their time to this. So I really hope you are leaving here with at least a mindset shift, at least one practical next step, and just at least one person you plan to follow up with or learn from. Do not let it end here. It should never end here. Keep the work, keep growing, keep just doing what you need to do to get your music out there. I'm a music connoisseur. I love everything. If you want, send me your music. I have a playlist. I just want to support people's crafts. But yeah, you can tap in with me. My name is Gian. Sorry, my dog is biting me. My name is Gian on Instagram, JIONNE.MC. And I'm just happy to have been a part of this. So, is there any last words?
Yes. Said any last words? Tanya, any
Yeah,
last words?
Tanya, again, go ahead.
Such a gentleman. Thank you, Seti. Asia, Gian, first and foremost, thank you so much for having me here tonight. Just even to be a part of the panel and now this dynamic listening session. I'm really grateful to be here and have the opportunity. Like I said, I recently launched a streaming strategy intensive. I put the link there out there. I also want to offer a discount code. Genius, if you put it in for sure to book a session with me. The last two people who booked with me, I've helped them their first playlist cover. So one of my clients is about to get on stage and perform at the Stellar Awards, like one of the events happening at the Stellar Awards this summer. So these sessions are really valuable because you get to speak to me and I dive into your data and then tell you what's working and what can work for your next release and even how to repackage some of your music. So if you want to connect with me that way, you can. I also have a free community on School. Join me there as well, where we have listening sessions like this. I'm super excited for what Genius is doing, and I would love to be involved in more things. If you just tap me, I can always be a resource for sure. Thank you so much.
Love that. Love that. Want to thank the ladies for putting together an amazing event. Both days were incredible. Want to thank Tanya for being a great cohort in terms of the listening session. Asia, thank you for thinking of me. Gian, just getting to meet you, but again, you was doing a great job as host and moderator. Any ways that I can be of help for y'all, just let me know. I say that to you as well as the chat. I also put my information in the chat, so feel free to message me. You can, if you follow me on Instagram, at itsceddyp, ITSCEDDYP, and just DM me Genius, and then I got you on a discount code on the services. But also, let's just rap. Let's just rap and see how we can be of help, because sometimes all it takes is a little bit of conversation and perspective. But I appreciate y'all, and yeah, Tanya, I'm trying to get some discounted services too. I'm about to put the Genius code in myself.
Listen, we the Genius family. Listen, we're the Genius family. Okay, we're locked in. So everybody connect with everybody, and definitely get those discounts, Genius.
Fit Genius on Uber Eats, half off food.
Yo,
DM me, Genius.
that's
I'll
hilarious.
get you a coffee. I got you. But no, I'm glad that we can laugh and we can do this. This was definitely so good, so good. Once again, shout out to my girl Shannon for all her hard work in the background, as well. So Gian, love you. Thank you for moderating while I was on the background fixing all the tech issues and everything like that. So guys, thank you so much once again for being here tonight. This wraps our Genius series. We'll be sending out some questionnaires just to kind of get your thoughts. And as we're gonna possibly continue this, I want to say we're going to continue this, and as we bringing in wonderful guests and individuals in this industry, just to be able to share their experiences and share their knowledge with you on a monthly basis. So we're gonna figure this out. And thank you. So, one thing, make sure you're following Genius RS. Tap in with us, artists. Please make sure you tap in with us so you can get your features for the month of July. All right. Listen, it's Black Music Month. Let's celebrate and let's do our thing. All right. All right. Everyone have a good night.